Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. And you know what? I think I'm gonna take my glasses off. I don't like that I can see my ring light in my glasses, so give me a second. Okay, I think I like that better. Anyway, if you are just finding me, I'm so glad to have you, and this is my journey for my vertical sleeve gastrectomy that should be scheduled sometime in February. And I'm very much looking forward to it. So if you're here and you'd like to learn more about my journey, please like and subscribe down below, and let's get started. I was a little unsure of my topic that I wanted to talk about today, and then a topic presented itself. Kind of what I want to talk about is my big why. Why am I doing this? Someone had asked me why I decided to make such a big decision, so I thought I'd share that with you today. Over the weekend, my family of 5 decided to go to an amusement park around here where we live, and I was very excited about it and kind of dreading it at the same time, to be honest. Dreading it because I wasn't sure if my kids were going to be old enough to ride alone or if they were going to need a parent. The reason that this caused dread was because in the past I have been asked to get off of rides due to my size. A couple of years ago, we went to Cedar Point in Ohio, my son's first ride on a roller coaster, and being the protective mama bear that I am, I didn't want him to ride by himself, so I thought I'd get on with him. He wasn't able to ride the ride at that time with me because the seatbelt wouldn't latch. And they don't have extenders. If you don't fit the ride, you can't ride the ride. So I was asked to get off. At Walt Disney World, I don't have this problem. At Walt Disney World, their rides are accommodating for parents riding with children, and they accommodate larger sizes. So I just assumed everywhere did, but they don't. So I was asked to get off the ride with my son, and we went over to another ride that I thought I'd be safe on, because basically it's like a big bus that just goes around in a circle like this. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. And I thought we'd be okay, and we got on, and again, the seatbelt didn't latch. So it was yet a second ride that I was asked to get off of. I was humiliated. I had to ask my daughter and her friend to come over and ride the kiddie rides with Cole just so he could ride them, and it was humiliating. But as humiliating as it was, I still didn't change anything. I said I would, but I didn't. I got over the feeling of being humiliated and moved on. And it actually makes me angry now to think of all of the time that I've wasted and the experiences that I've missed due to my weight. And to be honest, not just my weight, but my laziness. It's my fault I got this way. I don't have anybody to blame but myself. I've had enough humiliating experiences in the past to make the decision to change, but I just didn't. I've had my pants split while I'm coaching cheerleading. I've had a chair collapse underneath me, and I've had to be asked to get off of rides. So what was my turning point, you ask? Thank you so much for asking. Let me tell you, a couple of months ago, my husband had heard about a park that we could take a path down to the creek bed, and you could walk the creek, you could fish, you could swim. It was supposed to be beautiful, and I thought it sounded like fun, so we went. The path was pretty steep heading down, and I'm not known to be graceful. I've danced my whole life, but I'm not known to be graceful. I'm very clumsy, klutzy. So we're heading down a very steep path. I'm trying to make sure I'm aware of my surroundings and keeping my kids together and staying on one side of the path so that we're not within arm's reach of the people who are passing us. And with this trail just kind of snakes down this literal mountain. It's a mountain. So we get to the bottom. I'm struggling a little bit as we get to the bottom, and it's beautiful. It's a wide creek bed, lots of jutting out rocks that you can walk on into the middle of the creek. There are little babbling areas. There's areas with rapids, deep pools that you could swim in or fish in. It was really beautiful, and the boys had a wonderful time. And I had a good time too, but in the back of my mind, I'm thinking about, how am I gonna get back? Because this was a pretty steep hill. So we enjoy ourselves for a little while down in the creek, and we decide that it's time to head back up. Now, as I mentioned, it's a steep hill. It was a mile, maybe more, to get from where we were to get back to the car, and we had to climb a mountain. So here we are. We started off strong. We always start off strong. We started off strong, and not very long into it, I'm struggling, and my feet were hurting. I was not wearing great shoes, which then was hurting my knees. It was hurting my back, and my stomach is large. If you were to see me, and this has been another humiliating thing that people mistake that I'm pregnant. So I carry my weight in my front, which makes my lower back hurt because I kind of bow out a little bit. So I'm walking up the hill, my lower back is just screaming in agony. And it's a very steep hill. There's nothing to sit on, and if I sat on the ground, there was no way I was getting back up on my feet. We just literally inched up this hill, and I would stop and rest against a tree, and my boys, who are young and energetic, and they want to run up ahead of me, and I kept having to call them back, and my husband, he would have to sit and wait for me to kind of catch my breath or get the will up to move again. It took us about an hour to climb back up this mountain, and it might even just be a hill. I might be exaggerating that it's a mountain, but in my head, it's a mountain. So we finally get to the top, and I cried actual tears when I got to the top, because I was, one, relieved that I was at the top, and number two, so disgusted with the state of myself that I couldn't even walk up a hill. Now, I've been an athlete my whole life, dancing, gymnastics, softball is my sport. I've been an athlete my entire life, but I had to come to the realization that I was not an athlete. I haven't played an actual sport in a couple of years, again, because of my size. That was my turning point. I got to the top. I was so dejected and crying, and my sweet son, Cole, came up and hugged me and said, "I'm proud of you." And that made me cry even more. I'm probably gonna tear up right now, but it made me cry even more because it's sweet and it's sad that you have to be proud of your mom to walk up a hill. So that was my turning point. That was when I started really looking at myself. I hadn't acted on, I wasn't acting on anything. I just looked at myself and, is this what I deserve? Is this what my family deserves? I'm still young. I'm 43. I still have many good years ahead of me, but I've already given up the sport that I love because I can't play it. I can't play with my kids. I can't sit on the floor and play with my kids because I cannot stand up. These are not things that my family deserve from me. I'm still young. I still can do things if I were in better shape. knowing myself, dieting is not something that I would stick to very well. I looked into buying those expensive programs, and I, again, knowing myself, know that it will just sit in a pantry or in my refrigerator and it wouldn't get eaten, or it wouldn't be eaten correctly. So I started doing some research. In my opinion, the vertical sleeve gastrectomy was the way to go. I started asking questions, talking to anybody who had it, just getting the information so that I could make the decision for myself. It wasn't something that I was sharing with my friends and family at that point, because I needed to do the research. I needed to know if this was the right path for me and make that decision and be confident in that decision before I shared it with others and started hearing those opinions. So my research led me to this decision that the vertical sleeve gastrectomy is the right thing. And I'm excited about it. I'm determined, and I'm looking forward to my life. So again, thank you guys for watching and still supporting me, and your words of encouragement are wonderful. I love hearing them. Thank you so much. If there's anything that you think of that you'd like for me to talk about, please let me know down in the comments, or you can send me a message on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I got them all. But again, thank you for watching. Hit that like button and the subscribe button, and we will talk soon. Bye.